Hey guys, today we're going to talk about the Gilded Age, which is from 1870 to about 1910-ish. A lot of historians like to end it around 1900, and I'm going to assert that it goes a little bit longer than that. And I'm calling this lesson the Gilding because that's really what we're going to focus on. So the Gilded Age is characterized by the world's first crazy, stupid, insanely, ridiculously, and unfathomably rich private citizens, okay? Because rich people exist before this, but before this time, they usually had to be like an emperor or a king or a queen or something like that. And of course, it's about their corporations, so the things that made them that wealthy. So John D. Rockefeller and Andrew Carnegie are a couple of the most famous Gilded Age crazy, stupid, rich people. And their total net worths are estimated to be like over $300 billion when adjusted for inflation, back in the day. Nominally, Andrew Carnegie was like only 475 million, but again, calculating for inflation, they are more than double Jeff Bezos, the current or recent richest man in the world. One of my students pointed out to me that he's not this rich anymore after the divorce, but I think he's still number one. Anyway, back in the day, Gilded Age stupid rich people are even more stupid rich than the richest person today. Like, it's unimaginable, all right? Another guy that I got to mention, though, is Cornelius Vanderbilt. He was kind of a loser, though. He was only estimated to be worth $100 billion. God, what a loser he must have been to only have gotten $100 billion. And I want to help you visualize kind of some of the things that were going on. And that's really what this lesson is about. It's about helping you think about what life was like. So my learning target questions is, what is the figurative meaning behind the term Gilded Age? Why do we call it that? And what evidence and circumstances lead to that label that we give it? All right, so let's talk about what is gilding. So let's talk about the literal meaning of gilding before we can talk about the figurative meaning. All right, so to gild something means to decoratively cover it with a thin layer of gold. All right, so if it's gilded, another way to think about it is that it is gold plated or it's gold covered, but it's definitely not solid gold, but it's been painted as such to give it an appearance of gold. All right, so it could be a wooden frame, it could be a statue, it could be a gate, whatever it is, but beneath the gilding, whatever it is, wood, stone, metal, iron, it is not as opulent as the gold is meant to make it look. All right, so opulent is, I really like this word opulent, and just think of it as meaning rich or luxurious. All right, so this gold plating is meant to make something look opulent and luxurious, and this era of the Gilded Age is this era of opulence. Opulence. I just like to say the word opulence. All right, the era of opulence. So what did the crazy, stupid, rich people do with all that money? They had so much to spend, all right? So quick little backstory. Between 1837 and 1900 is in Britain is known as the Victorian Era, after Queen Victoria, all right? So Queen Victoria reigns between 1837 and 1900. She's actually born in like 1820 or something. Anyway, Queen Victoria, I want you to think of Queen Victoria as like the world's first, or at least the world's first biggest social influencer, okay? So just like there are influencers today, people see things like, oh, I want that thing because I see it. Queen Victoria was that person in 1840, okay? Everybody like knew what Queen Victoria was doing, like way over there in England, and they're like, oh, Queen Victoria, she got a necklace, I want that necklace. Oh, Queen Victoria, she's got that dress, I want that dress. Oh, I want to be... Okay, so I'm hoping you get the idea. She's the first social influencer of like that you can think about for this time period, okay? So also, quick fun fact about Queen Victoria. So the reason why women like to have white wedding dresses now is because Queen Victoria got married in a white wedding dress. Now, some people were doing the white wedding dress thing before Queen Victoria, but Queen Victoria made it popular. As soon as she got married and everybody saw Queen Victoria get married in this white wedding dress, they're like, oh my goodness, I want a white wedding dress. And now it's become a cultural thing. But so anyway, rich Americans, though, they would want to imitate the European royalty in a lot of different ways. And so again, that's what this lesson is about. It's helping you visualize what things looked like. And so I'm just going to give you a couple small examples here. So this is Alva Vanderbilt, who marries into the loser, only $100 billion Vanderbilt family. Marries into the family. This is a dress that she wears for a party that she throws in 1883. All right, just look at this picture for a second, though. She's got doves Like she's got doves in this picture, and I honestly, I really wonder. Like, I feel like they've got to be taxidermied, like they've got to be dead or fake doves that she's got stuffed, and she's just holding them. And they're like, I want to be holding doves, and I'm sure that made sense in her mind. Anyway, look at her hat. Look at this dress. Okay, again, she's this the imitation of opulence. Opulence. All right, that's what she wants. This is her mansion that Alva Vanderbilt has built in New York City. And so again, this is her private residence. This is her home. This is where she lives. And you look, it's just huge. And then there's some other visual representations too. Another thing that super crazy rich people would do is they would throw parties. And so on the left is a artistic like painting representation of maybe what one of these parties might have looked like. And the photo on the end is like a banquet hall. So again, just look at like the chandelier, look at the candlesticks, look at the people, look at the wallpaper. There's this like excessive and like compulsive need to be as extra as you possibly can. And that was totally the nature of the time. Like if you had a stupid, crazy amount of money, you were like, what can I, decorate even more so? And that's what you did. So my little only thing like note that I want you to write down is that they build mansions and they throw parties. Now, of course, they did. They invested in they grew their businesses. But we're going to talk about that later. Today is all about the opulence. All right. So if we're talking about the Gilded Age again, and gilding means to plate something in gold, what are we plating? This is for sure the shiny gold plating, but we're covering something up. What are we covering up? All right, so in 1890, the U.S. population is around 63 million people, and the richest 1% of those Americans own 51% of American wealth. All right, 1% of people own half of America. So 1% of people is about 600,000. All right. And now, of course, Andrew Carnegie and Rockefeller and the loser Vanderbilts are among these 600,000. And maybe not everyone has got the mansion in New York City, but like there's like a lot of people that are still doing really good, like in the various businesses and industries, and they are living the high life. All right. So that is a very small portion, even though 100,000 people, that's like a lot of people that are doing fine. But there's another 50 million or so, that are like, they're like not doing great. They're like really like not doing great. Okay. So this that I'm presenting to you here, I'm calling this like with a caveat, Manuel's American social class proportions of 1890, because I tried really hard to find this information and get these statistics a little bit better. And I don't know, this is the best that I could do. So this is what I am asserting to the best of my knowledge. All right. So the crazy rich are about 1% of our population. And there's another like middle class that are probably doing okay. They've probably got some kind of skilled job, like they're a tailor, so they make clothes, personally, or maybe they're a farmer. Maybe they got the Homestead Act. Maybe they're a cowboy. I don't. So some people are doing okay. All right. But then there's another. Oh, my color's a little messed up here. There's another like 44% that are poor, and then up here there's another like 45%. Oh, this is a little dark here, but they're like dirt and less than dirt poor. All right, so this is kind of the era of like mass manufacturing and factory work, and also child labor. We'll talk about child labor later. So this is you're poor if maybe every member of your family is going to work, and maybe they're getting $1 or $2 a day, and that would probably put you in like probably the arguably poor category. And then there's other people who, for whatever reason, they are less than poor, like they are super in debt, or maybe their family, somebody is sick or injured, and they can't afford to send everybody to work. So maybe only the dad gets to go to work and mom is at home with the kids. Maybe dad's not even there. Maybe, it's not a thing. So the point is there's a lot of people not doing great. All right. And so when we talk about gilding, where there's this gold plated thin cover that is covering up something underneath. And I'm hoping I'm painting that image for you now. So Mark Twain is the one who's really credited, and he actually is credited with saying Gilded Age. And historians now use Mark Twain's reference of the Gilded Age to refer to this time period because of that. So I'm going to leave you with one more visualization here, and it's a political cartoon. I don't always love political cartoons, but we will explore this one a little bit more. It's called The Protectors of Industries, and that's what the title is down here. And I want you to think about who are the protectors of our industries. And another quick reminder, industry is just, it's a type or category of business. So let's take a look at this image a little bit closer, all right? So we got these four fat dudes up at the top here. They got dollar signs on their bellies. They're sitting on bags that say millions. You can notice the guy on the right says Vanderbilt. So there's a boy, the loser, $100 billion Cornelius Vanderbilt. The other two dudes, we're not going to worry about them. I think they're bankers, but they're going to look down at the bottom of the picture, and we got some guys. They're hunched over. They got aprons on, so sort of suggesting they are probably our workers, our laborers. This guy's got a hammer or an axe in his hand, and so they don't look very comfortable, right? And then we move up here, and you can see on the structure, it's got the name of some of our industries like tin and paint and oils. I'm not sure what that says in the back. Paper, leather, and then you've got paper and leather workers, $6 a week, $7 a week. Woo, $7 a week. Over here, you've got the cloth workers, average $9 a week, and the linen workers. Whoa, look at the linen workers, $11 whole a week for the linen workers, guys. They are raking it in. Maybe not. So we'll talk about this image a little bit later too, thinking about the protectors of our industry and also thinking about the figurative meaning of Gilded Age and the things that the gilding is covering over. And I also hope that this lesson helped you visualize what some of the things were like that we will explore a little bit more in the future lessons.